For the first time since 2008, a quarterback will not be the first pick in the NFL draft. The question this year is, will a QB be taken in the top 5? If not, and there is a possibility, it would be the first time that has happened since 2000. The player with the best chance to crack the top 5 this year is Geno Smith out of West Virginia. The versatile QB has the size and arm strength for the NFL, and he can move. You know, the way the NFL is going toward with its quarterbacks. Smith has gotten better every year in terms of accuracy and understanding, though there remains a lot to learn for someone who took every snap in the shotgun in college. Worked out okay for RG3 though. Smith, as have all the top quarterbacks, has been asked about the perception there is a lack of elite talent in this draft at his position. Here, he speaks at the Combine, justifying his being a high pick.
I don't feel any pressure. I'm totally confident in my abilities. I'm not cocky or, going to sit here and say that I'm, just this all-world player right now because, like I said, I have, many areas where I need to grow. But I do feel like, I have a tremendous skill set and that I have an opportunity to showcase that, and which is something that I look forward to. You can watch the tape and you can see all the throws that I make, Obviously, I can make every throw on the field, and like I said, that still needs to be improved. Inconsistency is something that I struggle with, I believe. Although I put up good statistics, there were some situations where I could have made a better throw, or I could have been better, and I'll be the first person to say that.
A few months ago, the consensus was there wouldn't be a QB that merited a top 10 pick in this draft. Now, it's always dangerous to pay too much attention to what is said in January, even more dangerous than listening to what's said in April. When NFL people actually get around to watching these guys play, though, that's when we get a slightly better idea where these guys might go. And USC's Matt Barkley has risen up draft boards since the personnel people and coaches have been able to talk to him and really break down his game film. On tape has been the only thing they've been able to do as far as watching Barkley compete. He did miss the last 2 games of his senior season with a separated throwing shoulder. He is throwing actually for the first time today at USC's Pro Day. But what really has the NFL buzzing so far over the past month or so is Barkley's poise. You see it every time he talks, and he has reportedly impressed teams that have sat down with him. I spoke to an NFL coach whose team is in the market for a QB early in this draft, and he said Barkley has the talent, enough mobility, the smarts, and the personality to be successful in the NFL. The coach thinks Barkley staying for his senior year was the right move, even though it saw him drop off statistically. At the Combine, Barkley sounded like he agreed.
Learned a lot from this last year that you can't teach in a classroom. You have to learn through experience. In regards to handling adversity at its peak, really finding the motivation to get guys going in the locker room, in the huddle, on the practice field when you're not playing for postseason. And this year, especially with the early loss to Stanford, it set we weren't expecting it, and it allowed me to kind of step up at times and be that voice when guys didn't really know where to look, and you can't really teach some of that stuff. So I've had to learn through experience over the years about leadership, and definitely I think I'm in a better position now entering this draft than I was last year.
That's it for the first round, maybe. There is another guy whose stock has been shooting up the past couple months. After an uneven college career, which featured some unquestionable highs and talent, but some questionable decisions and a propensity for being hurt, Florida State's Manuel was MVP of the Senior Bowl. So was Phillip Rivers, by the way. The 6'5", 237-pound Manuel ran a 4.65 40 at the Combine in February. Much faster than Rivers, by the way. He also had a fine pro day this month. Like I said, there are concerns about some of Manuel's on-field decisions, but like Barkley, he played in a pro-style offense, and he is mobile and tough to bring down.
I don't think I have to be Colin Kaepernick. I don't have to be Russell Wilson. I can be Manuel. But I do see a lot of my abilities in those guys. First off, I'm great friends with Russell Wilson. He's from Virginia as well. But I think, when I saw those guys having success throughout the year, it gave me a lot more confidence going into the draft, knowing that kind of quarterback, as far as a guy that can run and throw, not necessarily run first, but also throw the ball and can run, have that run threat. It's more accepted now. Whereas 5-10 years ago, it really wasn't accepted. And you definitely didn't want to act like you were going to run. You just wanted to sit in the pocket the whole time. So instead of now, it's more embraced. embraced as a quarterback. I feel like whatever team I go to, I think the coaches will understand the skill set that I have, and I think they'll fit whatever kind of offense to whatever I do. They'll cater to whatever I do. I think that's why RG3, those young guys like Kaepernick and Russell Wilson, they had such success early on because the offense was more catered to what they succeeded at. And as a quarterback or as any player, that makes it a lot easier for you. You just go out there and you make plays and you make things happen. You go through your reads.
Also in the second round, I've got an underrated guy for you. Ryan Nassib out of Syracuse. He holds pretty much every passing record at that school and has done well this spring leading up to the draft. Nassib and Arkansas' Tyler Wilson, who missed one game in 2011 and another in 2012 with concussions. That's the big thing in the NFL right now. That might hurt him. They figure to be gone in the second round. Again, a down year for QBs. It will be just the fourth time in the past 16 years that one is not taken first overall. And probably just the sixth time in that span that at least 3 QBs don't go in the first round. As for how that valuation by NFL teams looks a few years from now, of course, we'll have to wait and see. Thanks for joining us today for our look at quarterbacks. Next week, we turn our attention to the defensive players available in this year's draft.
Great report, Kevin. Now, one of the things that fans have been kind of crying out for is the Chargers fans. Should there be a quarterback drafted to the Chargers that can
like in the later rounds
that can
groom
maybe
him.
Right, exactly, learn from the tutelage of Phillip Rivers?
Two things. You don't do that, first of all. I mean, when you need a quarterback, you go out and get a quarterback, all right? You have Charlie White, who's going to be your backup. You want a veteran backup. The Chargers in the past have, they drafted Jonathan Crompton a couple years ago. They thought he was good. The timing was just wrong for them. They had undrafted kid Scott Tolzien they think is going to be an NFL quarterback. He's with the 49ers now. Just the timing wasn't right. They have too many other places to go, other positions, to waste a draft pick on a quarterback.
Way too
That's
many
my answer.
roster needs. All right, we come back. We have tons of Padres news. Stay tuned.
There is lots.